Well, welcome, worship leaders, the Christmas Survival Guide. As a worship leader, I know the Christmas season can be super stressful. So today I just have 3 tips to not just survive the Christmas season, but hopefully thrive during the Christmas season. We'll get into the video right after this intro. So glad to be with you today. Again, we're going to be looking at 3 tips to thrive during this Christmas season. And if we're just meeting, my name's Jeremy Ellis. I started Influential Worship to just help fellow worship leaders, like you saw in that intro, lead with confidence, right? Live into your calling and ultimately leave your mark, leave a legacy on those you serve. And hopefully that is our goal as worship leaders. We're seeking to serve the people that we stand in front of week after week. And today we're going to get right into it. We have 3 tips to just survive, again, the Christmas season. And like I said, hopefully you're not just going to survive it, but you're going to thrive. And I know, time after time, year after year, the Christmas season comes, right? And can often be super stressful as a worship leader. There's all these kind of competing values. And so I'm hoping to give you 3 things today that'll help you out this Christmas season. The first one that I want to point out is just this: simply don't lose the wonder of the Christmas season, right? And often what I mean by this is that there's things that can often happen, right? And there we go. Don't lose the wonder of the Christmas season. What can often happen is, man, amidst the rehearsals, amidst the stress of kind of planning for Christmas services and trying to figure out, like, do we do Christmas songs? How many do we do, right? We got the people that hate Christmas songs. We got the people that love Christmas songs. What can often happen? And I know it's happened to me is, man, by the time I've got to these Christmas services and kind of Christmas Eve, these special services that we put so much time into, my heart is just kind of dead. And so I don't want that to happen to you. And so, man, I just want to encourage you, don't lose the wonder of the Christmas season. And how do we do that, right? I would just encourage you, right? Open the Bible, open the Christmas story and read it afresh, not for planning purposes and not for trying to figure out what are you going to do or how could we make this amazing, right? But just read the Christmas story. And I'm asking myself this Christmas season, if I've lost the wonder and if I've lost the plot of the Christmas story, the awe of it, right? That Jesus came on this rescue mission that ultimately pulled my heart that was held captive to sin out of that bondage, right? And placed it in this relationship with him. If the Christmas story is about that, right? How do I not lose the wonder of that this Christmas season? And so I'm just challenging myself with that. And I want to challenge you with that is don't lose the wonder this Christmas season, right? Open the Christmas story afresh, man, and read it. And so we would lead out of that place, right? Of just, again, not just kind of going through a script, right? When we get to these Christmas services, and it's so easy to be in that place, again, amidst all the craziness and amidst the planning and amidst the busyness of personal life, right? There's all these Christmas parties and all these things. And so, man, I just want to encourage you, don't lose the wonder this Christmas season. And then, a big thing here, embrace the nostalgia is tip number 2. And this can be a frustrating thing during the Christmas seasons because oftentimes what will happen is, right, we got all these people that want these Christmas songs, and it's kind of just frustrating, right? We already deal with this as worship leaders where we get kind of the infamous, prayer card, but it's really a comment of like, hey, can we do this song? Can we do this hymn? And this is like amped up like big time during Christmas season, and everybody wants their favorite Christmas song played. And man, if you forget, Oh Holy Night, oh man, dear Lord, right? We're going to hear it. And so that happens during this Christmas season. And I've often find myself in the past being frustrated by that, kind of just going like, man, people just want this nostalgia. We're here to worship. Like, feels like we have to throw away worship, right, during the Christmas season and do all these Christmas songs that are really just about nostalgia. And I've come to realize, and I want to challenge you, right? Embrace that nostalgia. Don't view it as an enemy, but view it actually as a friend, right? If you think about this, think about one of the challenges we face as worship leaders, where often it's people don't know the songs. And if you think about the Christmas season, that barrier is virtually eliminated. I mean, these Christmas songs, these Christmas carols, these Christmas hymns, everyone, for the most part, knows them, right? Everyone knows the melody, knows the words, right? Or at least knows it enough to engage during worship. And so I just want to challenge you, worship leader, fellow worship leader, embrace this nostalgia during the Christmas season and actually use it to call your people up to engagement and actually sing along to the songs. I mean, I've even done this in the past and plan to do it again this Christmas season, is just challenge our people like, hey, you know these songs, right? If we're singing like Joy to the World, you know this melody, you know this song. And so I want to challenge you to engage with the message of this song, right? This amazing Christmas hymn that's talking about Jesus coming, right? And it's actually talking about Jesus coming again, but hey, we sing it at Christmas time, and we can use it to just have our hearts, once again, not lose that wonder and to hone into the message of that, the fact that Jesus came, right? That Jesus is coming again. And so just embrace that nostalgia this Christmas season. Don't fight it or shy away from it. I think what can often happen is we think like, man, we're tired of the old and people are tired of the old, or maybe it's just our own hearts that are tired of the old. And so we feel this pressure to like do something new and feel like we have to do the latest, greatest thing. But man, just embrace that nostalgia and use it to challenge our people to engage in singing this Christmas season. I was actually blown away by this. I want to read this. I wrote this down. The definition, if you look up nostalgia, it says this. It's a noun, and the first kind of definition here, the first part of it, a bittersweet longing for things, persons, or situations of the past. And then number two, the condition of being homesick or homesickness. Man, if you think about the Christmas season, right, if we embrace the message of God coming, right, entering human history and coming for our hearts, think about that definition, a bittersweet longing for things or situations of the past. Right. And all of us with this tied into the story of redemption, right? We were all, come from Adam and Eve, right? And they fell, the story of the fall, right? They were in the garden and they had this perfect relationship with God. And yet that relationship was broken because of sin, right? Because they ultimately disobeyed God and didn't trust that he had their best for him, right? And so if you think about this bittersweet longing, since the fall, every single one of our hearts, the human heart, has been longing for that restoration of relationship with God. And so, man, embrace the nostalgia this Christmas season, and let's use these Christmas hymns to remind people of the grand rescue of God this Christmas season. When we sing the Christmas hymns, right, use the moments in them to as teaching moments, right, where we can point people to the lyric and say, man, let's embrace this story, this Christmas story, this gospel story. Let's embrace that together. And so, again, encourage you, embrace the nostalgia. And then the third and final tip is this: just keep it simple, right? I've found myself just so tempted in the Christmas season to kind of go like, man, what are we going to do that is going to just like top the charts this Christmas season? And I think some of this pressure comes from, a lot of churches feel the need to put on these big pageants, and I'm not against that. If your church does that, man, I'm like, more power to you, but they take a lot of production, a lot of energy, right? And I think sometimes we fall into the pressure, especially nowadays with YouTube, where, we're all looking at each other like, what's the next church doing, right? I just want to encourage you, if you are led to just keep it simple, right, there's nothing wrong with that. And I would actually encourage you to find moments, even if you do like a big extravaganza, right, a big production, find ways to just include some simple elements. I mean, one of the things I love about my church, Real Life Ministries, that I serve at here in Idaho, is we pretty much every Christmas season, we close out the Christmas Eve services with just a super simple rendition of Silent Night. And by the end of it, just everyone is just singing together, right? And we're holding up candles. And man, it's just, again, that nostalgia. But there's something about that simplicity. If you think about the Christmas season, right, there's so much competing for our attention, right? There's so much noise. There's so much going on around us. There's all these social kind of pressures, right, of all the different parties and things. And those are all good things, right? But man, at the end of the day, I know my mind is just so filled with clutter and can be so filled with noise. And again, back to point one, I can lose the wonder really quickly, right? Or I can fall into the trap of just being all about nostalgia and just completely losing the Christmas story. And so I think these moments where we just keep it simple in our services and just sing maybe a simple Christmas hymn, even if you're doing kind of complex arrangements of these Christmas songs, right? Or maybe these new arrangements of Christmas songs, I challenge you to maybe find just one simple arrangement that you can sing, where maybe it's even just like an acoustic guitar and the voices, right? Just to sing a simple Christmas hymn to the Lord and just reminding God's people that it's about singing with one another, right? As we lift up the gospel story, the message of, again, God entering human history, right, and coming to rescue us. And so I hope that's helpful. Man, what is the biggest, I'd love to know, put in the comments, what is the biggest challenge you face with the Christmas season? I would love to be able to speak to those things. And if there's any way I can help out, man, that's why I am doing this influential worship, is just to help fellow worship leaders, right? Just to live into your calling, right? To lead with confidence and ultimately leave your legacy on those you serve. And so I'd love to know that. Please place that in the comments. Man, if this can encourage another worship leader that you maybe know, I'd love it if you would share it with them. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I'm planning on doing just some Christmas tips as we are now in the Christmas season. And so I'd love to serve you in that way. And if this is helpful in any way, I do over at influentialworship.com have a free guide. It's just some things that I wish I knew when I started worship leading that's going to help you lead with confidence. So head over to influentialworship.com. You could get that free guide. Just enter your email address. I'll send it right to you. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. God bless.